half of these guys, and the ones I do know are way past their prime. Most of these guys never had a prime. This guy here is dead.
Cross him off then.
Good evening and welcome to the first edition of the That's Your First Mistake podcast. Coming to you live from Lake Stevens, Washington, where we talk everything the Cascade Classic has to offer. I'm your host, David Benson, the GM of Game of Jones. Joined with me today, league commish, former Men's Warehouse model, and holder of the garden hose, John Zoller. What's up, John?
How you doing? It's good to be here. You've seen the garden hose pictures, haven't you? They're pretty risque.
Oh yeah, the garden hose.
Send a couple of those
out. We'll let everyone know. Also joining us from the Great White North, you know him as Eric Williams. What's up, Willie?
Cheers.
That's it? That's all we get, huh?
That's about it.
Okay, nice. Oh, a glass of wine too, sophisticated. This is going to get real.
That's what I do.
I want to start the pod off by saying welcome everyone to year 15. I can't believe I'm saying that, but this thing has made it 15 years. It's despite the landscape changing, you know, there's been a lot of people in and out, but for the most part, the core group is in the Cascade Classic still. And I think I speak for everyone. I'm actually really excited. This time of year, obviously football's starting, but it's a pretty cool opportunity for all of us to kind of get together, see each other, you know, get a lot of opportunity to see each other. I don't get to see you guys all that much. I wish I got to see you more, but, you know, with Marcus and John being in Cali, Sean off playing Neopets, Eric living in the country that's got their shit together. It's good to see you guys. So, you know, I just wanted to speak to that. It's pretty cool to see you guys. It was awesome being on the Zoom yesterday, seeing Brosna, Horrender, Tyler hopping in. It was just kind of cool to see that. So I really look forward to seeing you guys and the shit talking. So all that being said, John, Eric, what are you guys' opening thoughts? What are you guys looking forward to? Anything for the pod?
Opening thoughts, it's obviously going to be kind of a weird year. Hopefully nothing gets too crazy with COVID and all that down there. Yeah, I'm pretty much just praying that it goes smoothly. I know basketball has been all right, but a little shaky here and there. But yeah, definitely excited. And like you said, it's just a great time of year to actually talk to you guys finally once in a while, and you know, hopefully do the Zoom thing more often so we can see each other a bit more.
Well, I think that I clearly have the best team. I mean, it's the best team that I've seen in the Cascade Classic for a long time.
That didn't take long. I'm
extremely confident that I'm going to break the points record. I honestly think you guys had some of the worst drafts I've ever seen in my life, and you know, it's left me in a really good position. So actually, if you all just want to pay me half of your buy-ins today, I'll just forget about the rest of the league, and you can save half of your money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Noted. So make sure everybody that watches sees that. Just Venmo John real quick.
Yep.
But yeah, before we break into our matchups, wanted to welcome back Brosna. It's good to have you back. Unfortunately, John just mentioned it. He's going to try to break the points record that used to be held by you. Not so much anymore. Sorry I had to do you dirty like that, but I had to take the points record from you. But I got to say, the weirdest thing was seeing Brosna draft a team that didn't have T.O.
I mean, you could have went for it still if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm sure he's a free agent. You know, I'm sure there'll be some news. But, yeah, just a team with no T.O., no Ocho Cinco. It's not your typical Brosna team. So it kind of makes them a wild card, makes them dangerous.
Yeah, I'll have to, when we get to it, I'll have to actually look at this team.
Yeah. And then also welcome to the newest member, Horrender. It's good to have you, you know, although I want to go on record and show his first official statement yesterday in the Zoom, or the other day in the Zoom call, was it's good to be here, but the crazy thing is I'm going to win it my first year. So as far as I'm concerned, no mercy, Horrender. I'm going to definitely step on your head while you're drowning, and I'm beating the crap out of you. So keep that in mind.
So I'm mildly curious, Horrender's fantasy background, if anyone has it. I'm assuming John knows a bit more about it.
I do. Horrender's been playing for a few years now. I've watched as his skill has gradually increased to the level where I was finally confident where he'd be able to compete in the Cascade Classic.
I mean, what are the guidelines to make it in the Classic this late in the game? I mean, we're 15 years in. It's not just a anybody can join type deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, I think maybe anybody can join. might be heading to some troubled waters here.
Okay, well, hopefully not so much.
Yeah, drama-free year already.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not even just week 1. Are you kidding me?
That's right. It's gonna be a great year, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, I guess we can kind of get into what we're all here for, just to trash on each other's teams and talk week 1 matchups. So the way this is going to work, and we're just going to kind of pass it back and forth, share our thoughts on everybody, and if your team is one of the 3 here, you're going to be excluded from the conversation because John is clearly going to just talk about how good his team is. So
I'm just
basically just try not to talk about your team, John. I know it's going to be hard, but first up, we got the newbies and the welcome back tour for Brosnan. We got Brosna versus Horrender. What are the initial thoughts? What do you guys got?
pulling up the matchup stats right now. Wow, I can't believe that's the week 1 matchup.
So I think
right off the bat, I like Brosna's team quite a bit more.
Really?
Yeah.
I made a note here when I was looking at the matchup. Basically, kind of what I see on both sides is it's just a lot of players without kind of that superstar status. Like they don't have outside of their first round picks. I see Cam Akers, DK Metcalf, Gronk trying to make a resurgence. Edwards, Eckler, and more, right? I mean, those are all solid players, but
yeah, I'll take Brosna.
Yeah,
but they could very easily just be second-tier players.
I think Horrender drafted like a rookie, and he's gonna get what's coming to him in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Brosna took quite a bit of a reach on Russell way earlier than he needed to. But that being said, I do think that the Hawks are going to open it up a bit more with them this year.
Is Cam Akers for sure starting?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll take Brosna. All right, Eric, what do you think?
No, like I said, I definitely like his team better, and I definitely like him for week 1.
All right, David, who's going to be?
I went with Horrender.
Oof, wow, you would.
Yeah, I don't know, man. DK is a number 2 receiver on your fantasy team. I just don't know.
I love
like
that.
It's stuff like that. Like Eckler could very well be a flex play at best, and that's Brosnan's number 2. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I mean, Gronk could very well just not be what he was. A year off. I'm sure it's going to take a while. Plus he's injury prone. I just don't know. I don't have that person on his team where I look at him like that's a guaranteed 12 plus every week. Outside of who did he draft in the first? Was it DeAndre?
He's got Barkley.
Oh, yeah, Saquon, right?
Yeah, and Hopkins.
So,
but I mean, Hopkins on a new team, it'd be kind of a toss-up. But he still could go off.
I like both of them. They got a bunch of good players that have done okay, but I just don't know if that's going to be viable number 2s for every position outside of DeAndre, Russ, and Barkley. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I do think the Brazos team is a bit more solidified in terms of Barkley's at least proven that he is a superstar. Whether or not it pans out this year, who knows? But I mean, he's already somewhat proven it. Obviously, Hopkins does as well, and Wilson's pretty much as solid as you can get in QB outside of the top 2.
He's my sleeper MVP, Eric.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we got 2 for Brosnan and 1 for Horrender.
Sounds like it.
It looks like ESPN does like Horrender, though.
Yes, but let it be noted, David and ESPN think that Horrender's going to win. So, okay, we can head to the next matchup if you want.
Yeah.
We got Souza versus John. The rivalry begins. Week 1. Normally you end the season with rivalries, and we already got week 1. Give the people what they want, John.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say that it looks like I'm about a 92-point favorite in that matchup right now since Steven's entire roster is benched.
Okay, well, assuming that Steven sets his roster, and hopefully everything works out there, I got to say this is the most intriguing matchup when I look at it on paper. I really like both your teams. I think you guys are going to be in the top 4. Both of these
win.
teams. Huh?
It's an easy win.
Easy win. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Soft.
I don't see how either of you aren't in the top 4, barring any major industry or major injuries, anything like that. But I mean, Lamar Jackson, Chris Carson, and CMC are capable of putting up 60 points each week.
Yeah. I mean,
if you get 3 people putting up 60 and you get average play from the rest of your team, you're still looking at 100.
Tom Brady's capable of putting up 60.
Yeah, I mean,
John, I'll bet you a lot of money that Lamar Jackson outscores Tom Brady this week.
How much money?
John, do you know for sure that you're gonna be starting Brady?
What do you mean? Do I know for sure? It's Tom Brady.
I mean,
He was the cover model
doesn't
for
seem like a given.
6 times, Eric.
you say so. But that being said, like with Steven's team, anytime you essentially have one of the top 2 quarterbacks and the top running back, like you're not gonna have a bad team.
No, not at all. I mean, that's 2 that's 2 of the potential MVP candidates on the same team.
Oh, for sure. Carson should have another good year as well.
Yeah, assuming he stays healthy. I mean, it's I think you're right, and I think the Seahawks are going to open it up a little bit, but I think that run game is still going to be. It's going to be it.
Oh yeah.
Predictions?
Well, hold on. We haven't even got to your team yet. We are only talking about
okay.
demons.
Okay.
Let's see. So what I wrote down
deep.
for you, what stands out to me is that you got Le'Veon as a flex. I got to think that's one of the better flex starters in the league.
Yeah.
Not because of what he's done in the past couple of years, but what we know he can be.
Yeah, I mean,
knowing what Le'Veon could be, if that's your flex, that's pretty damn good.
Oh, for
when you
sure.
when you
I mean,
when you
Connor's
draft
coming
him
off
well,
injury though.
Go ahead, Eric.
I was saying Connor's coming off injury. Le'Veon obviously didn't have a good year last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon Cooks was pretty trash last year too.
Brandon Cooks, he's on my bench.
I'm just saying, just glancing through.
I also
do like Godwin.
A lot of jealousy I'm hearing right now, Eric.
No, I was saying I like Godwin. Obviously had a great year last year, but it'll be interesting now with Brady not being able to really throw those deep balls. Like he's not going to throw as much. You know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to
And
see.
with
It'll be
Gronk.
nice to rack up those double points, though. If he does have a solid year, that could be huge for you.
Could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adams and Godwin, that's a solid, start them and leave it. You're not going to take them out other than their bye weeks. So, I mean,
Right.
nothing wrong there. Plus, you got the 3-headed monster running back. So, hopefully, Kamara has kind of a bounce back. He needs to be better. But
And Connor needs to be better too. He's hurt all last year. Like I thought I had a 3-headed running back, and then he wasn't really playing. And when he was, he didn't do a whole lot.
yeah.
So good luck with that, John.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll take myself in a route.
So we talked, predictions, Eric. You don't get to say your prediction on yours, John.
I know I don't, but I just want everybody to know.
For the record, just let it. Yeah, okay. Eric, who do you got?
Like I said, it's kind of hard to see with Steven's team jumbled up. But
I don't even think you need to look at my opponent.
I am going with Steven.
Wow.
I too will go with Steven.
Wow. Okay, I'll take some money on that right now. Actually,
I'm sorry, John. I just CMC Lamar Jackson
Hey, no problem. I'll take a side bet, $10 a piece with both of you. Is
and Chris Carson. I mean,
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
that a yes?
I don't know. I see Brady maybe throwing for 250, maybe
And 2
touchdowns and 3 picks.
Yeah.
And who are they playing?
Saints.
That's
They're
easy.
probably going to get blown out. So,
That's easy. They're going to blow out the Saints.
all right. Well,
All right, well,
think
apparently.
about all that.
Next matchup?
next matchup, we got Matt versus Adam.
Oof. A lot of passion in that matchup.
I'll let somebody else start. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me.
The
open
floor
it
is
up real
yours.
quick.
All right, so, Matt drafted a Matt team. A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas, Adam Thielen. These are standard Matt players. Mark Andrews, it's a Matt player. Yeah, Who else did you draft that are Matt players? That's pretty much it. But that's like, that's standard. I'll take Adam. I think Adam's team is just much better. Odell Beckham, he's going to have a big bounce back here, in my opinion. Yeah. What do you think, Eric?
I'm still bringing it up, but yeah, I do like OBJ. I haven't really looked at Adam's team much. Like I said, it's still loading if David wants to chime in on it.
Yeah. So when I was looking at this matchup, look at both of these teams, and the one thing that I see is a lot of pretty good starters, right? Viable options at every position, pretty much. You look all the way down, they got pretty good tight ends, pretty good running backs, good wide receivers, just standard players, right? What I don't see is any depth on either side, especially with the Ronald Jones is our guy comment that Bruce Arians made 2 days ago. So I just don't know what Fournette's going to be. I feel like, with him being a free agent, signing there, they probably talked about scheme, and he's not going there to sit, right? They're not paying him to be a backup, right? But I don't know, maybe if you guys agree, but I just look at their teams and I don't see what they're going to do for their bye weeks.
Oh, yeah. Like I finally loaded, but neither of them have a bench at all.
Yeah, I mean, I know they'll probably make moves to the waiver wire. Adam's pretty good at it, and I'm sure Matt will be just fine picking up some waiver guys. But
yeah.
I don't see any trade bait to where they can better their depth. I just don't quite know how they're going to handle that. So if they stay healthy and they don't have shared bye weeks, then I think they're going to be just fine. But I just don't know.
Yeah, at first glance, like Matt's team does just look pretty standard, like probably in the maybe playoff range. Like I don't see it really going too far. Both of them kind of just depends on what pans out in terms of Dak and Cam Newton. Like I really have no clue what Cam's about to do this year for Adam.
Yeah, and that's his only quarterback, right, that he drafted?
No, he has
Or is
Rodgers.
No, he has Ben.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Rodgers. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, he's got that, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't feel comfortable starting any of their bench players.
Oh, no.
In like a flex spot or a wide receiver too. That's just me.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, I don't mind Adam's team, especially if Keenan Allen can stay healthy. And like John said, I do think Odell is going to have more of a bounce back year this year.
They need him to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the whole Browns offense should be better, but still remains to be seen.
Yeah. So I'm sure, yeah, like I said, that's kind of how I feel. What, John, you got anything to add?
Nah.
No? Who you like?
Adam.
Prediction time.
Easy win. Matt's weak.
Jeez.
Matt drafted like a fool.
Just salt in the wound. Eric, who you got?
I think I'm going to go with Matt.
Oh. I went with Adam.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 for Adam.
Who's
It'd be an
next?
interesting matchup.
Odell and Cam are just such big toss-ups week one, especially.
Oh, yeah, especially with no game experience either. You have nothing to
do
base
think-
it on.
Adam's team is better in the long run, but I just don't know about week one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm out of this one, but the next matchup, we got David versus Marcus. So, John and Eric, the floor is yours.
1 sec. All right. Who's who? You guys are both called Jones.
I am Game of Jones, John. Didn't you listen to the intro?
Oh, yeah. I heard that now. That's really confusing.
Well, yeah, first things first, I mean, David, you do have a good team. We started-wise, looks real solid. No real weaknesses at running back or wide receiver.
I see multiple weaknesses at all positions.
In terms of the starters?
Matt Ryan is a horrible quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to get to that, but I was saying running back and wide receiver look pretty solid, and you have one of the best tight ends.
No. Melvin Gordon and Mike Ingram are both just absolute scrubs. These are two guys that are just going to be washed up this year. Julio Jones is on the wrong side of 30. T.Y. Hilton has Phillip Rivers throwing to him. David might not win a game this year. I'll take Marcus.
You are so full of shit. It's unreal.
Marcus.
You were just asking about trades yesterday, John.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to trade with you at all.
Yeah. That being said,
Can I
the team
defend
is
Matty
old.
Ice before you start talking predictions here?
You're
talking
talking about Marcus's team.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good
Eric?
segue there, John.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of David's team, they are old but proven, aside from Zeke, in terms of the age thing. But yeah, it's kind of a toss up with Matt Ryan. I mean, he's still capable of having a big year fantasy-wise. I mean, not sure the Falcons are going to do anything, but in terms of fantasy, he's still pretty viable.
The Falcons are about to have a top 5 offense.
The Falcons are going to have a top 5 offense.
You know it's true, John. Give me a break.
Well, I guess we'll find out on Sunday when they play Seattle.
Just weapons.
That being said, with Marcus's team,
Love it.
yeah, a lot of potential. Juju, it'll be interesting to see if he bounces back with Big Ben throwing the ball again.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be huge for him.
And then
John's
the
taking
Pat
better
Mahomes,
year.
Tyreek Hill connection, I mean, that alone is going to win some weeks.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I
like Josh
agree.
Jacobs a lot. The Raiders' defense got a lot better, and they're a running football team. And when you make stops on defense, you give yourself a much better chance to run the ball all the time.
Yeah,
You
Josh
would look-
Jacobs could have a big year for sure.
How about Carr? Is Carr going to be the one? Is he going to be all right?
No, he's fucked.
What else do we have? And then you never know with guys on the bench, like Golden Tate could still have a good year. Kareem Hunt could still have a good year.
Tyreek can drop 40 any week.
You know. Yeah, no, they're actually both teams look pretty solid, and it looks like ESPN does have Marcus, but pretty slim. But both are projected like 100 points each. So what do you think, John? Who do you like?
I'll take Marcus in this one. I think that David made some colossal mistakes, and he doesn't realize he made those mistakes yet, which is even more dangerous for his chances at winning.
Oh, man.
So I think Marcus should win by at least 40.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're not going to be allowed on this podcast anymore if you can't take it serious. 40 points?
Yeah. And David, don't worry though. Once you lose, once you get embarrassed, I will be happy to trade with you and take some of the garbage players you have off your hand.
Yeah,
Try to
there
help
it
the
is.
team get better.
There it is.
I got no problem, man.
That being said, I like David this week. As long as Mahomes doesn't fucking go for 45.
Yeah,
like David.
which is capable at any point.
Yeah, I
Sounds
mean,
like a pity vote to me.
KC and Houston might just have a fucking shootout, but at least with David's team, you know he's good for 90 a week, like no matter what, essentially.
All right, is that it for that one? David, pick a team. Who you picking?
I mean, I like both teams, actually. The 4 teams that I like the most, obviously, I like my team. I felt like I had a pretty good draft. Plus, I got Lindsey if Melvin Gordon doesn't pan out. But I really like yours and Stevens and Marcus's teams the best. Those 3.
When you say yours, who are you talking to?
John.
Yeah,
We'll get to you in a second. I do like your team too, but those are my 3 favorite teams outside of like excluding myself. Like I'd put myself at 4 or 5, but I like those top 3 to finish towards the top. So I don't know. It just depends. Like you said, Tyreek Hill and fucking Mahomes could pop off for 60. So if you got 2 players that are capable of putting up 30 points each week, and they're on the same team, that's just unreal. So, yeah, good draft by Marcus.
Next matchup.
I mean,
Next matchup, the last one, we got Eric versus Sean. So this is me and you, John.
Go ahead.
Yeah. First off, I got to say, completely unlike Sean for the draft that he put up. He asked for the 10th pick, classic Sean, probably fist pumped, loves being at the end, and he went 3 running backs in a row.
I love it.
I've never seen that before out of Sean. just so unorthodox. Luckily I wasn't picking after him. I would have had no idea what the hell I was doing.
3 running backs in a row, and he only has one good one.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it. But it'll be interesting to see Gurley in that offense, especially with Matt Ryan, who's going to finish the top 5 fantasy quarterback, who you guys were just shitting on a second ago. But Gurley, yeah, huge. If he could have that kind of bounce back to about where he was, he doesn't have to be 1,400 yards and 400 yards receiving and ridiculous amount of touchdowns, 20-some touchdowns. But there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him to be a top 10 fantasy back if that leg is good. So I think that could be the best valued pick if it pans out, because I think he's got him listed as his flex at the moment. Or is that right?
Gurley at flex, yeah.
Yeah. So, Gurley at flex, if that pans out, shit, that could be, that could be 15 points a week out of your flex. And you got to think that that's going to put you in situations to win, assuming the rest of your team can kind of step up. However, the wide receivers, I'm not a huge fan of. Just me personally. I'm not an Amari Cooper fan. He had a great year last year, but I just
Boomer bust a lot of
he's so capable of 2 catches for 14 yards. And it's so up in the air with them feeding Zeke as much as they do. So, and then Lockett, a Seahawks receiver could go 8 for 120 and a touchdown to 1 catch for 15. So that being said, I don't know. I have a feeling Sean will be at the top of the standings just because of the running backs, but I think Eric has more depth in this matchup, and I think that's going to kind of lead him to be towards the top of the league, kind of like I talked about before, towards the top half, 5 or 6, 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere in that range. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Evans Cup could be, huge. Cooper Cup, I know Adam loves white receivers, but that guy's a freak. Gets like 8 to 15 targets a game, capable of 120 and multiple touchdowns. Robinson coming off a 1,200-yard year with 7 touchdowns. That's going to be huge.
I'm pretty sure I have 5 wideouts that all caught for over 1,000 last year.
Yeah, who are the other ones?
Jarvis Landry and Michael Gallup.
Gallup could be good, but are you going to start both of them?
Not starting either of them. That's how good my wideouts are.
Gallup, or my fault. Amari Cooper's on Sean's team, my fault. Yeah, I don't know. John, what do you think?
I think Eric drafted like it was 2014. Kenyon Drake and Allen Robinson, these guys have been like scrubs for years now, and I don't know how you made such big mistakes in the draft, Eric. Let's see.
Allen Robinson just came off a 1,200-yard receiving year.
1147 actually didn't make it to 12,
and 7 touchdowns.
Most of those were luck. I saw a lot of corners give up on routes on those. I watched a lot of film.
Oh my goodness. Eric, you did kind of reference it earlier. It will be interesting to see Deshaun Watson without Hopkins, if Will Fuller can be a real number one.
That's a good point. It will be interesting.
It's a weak division, so I expect him to still kind of ball out. But
yeah, losing Hopkins is obviously big, but one of those things only time will tell.
Yeah, I love your receivers. I'm a huge fan of that. So I like the depth. Hopefully Deshaun pops off for you. What was that, John? You went with Sean?
Take Sean. Yeah, I'll take Sean. It'll be close, okay. Eric. I'll give you that. It'll be close because you have Mike Evans. But I'll take Sean.
I think I like Sean's team about the same, kind of playing just outside the top 3, could compete for the 3 or 4 spot. This week, though, I am picking Eric.
All right.
I would like to note that ESPN does have me scoring the most points this week and does have me having the largest margin of victory.
Ah, okay.
But you know.
Counting on ESPN projections, there's your first mistake.
All right.
Yeah, classic.
Someone in this group made the championship last year, and 2 others didn't. So I don't know.
Hey, I picked you. Give me a break.
Yeah.
All right, we got
I
anything
hear
on the docket here?
What's that?
We got anything else lined up here?
I don't believe so, unless David might have something.
No, that's pretty much all I got. The matchups, that's kind of what the meat and potatoes, right? That's kind of what we want to get into every week. Like I said, I'm super excited. It's always fun the first couple weeks. You know, you just drafted your team. Everybody always loves their team coming out of the draft, feeling that they're going to be to the top until they're embarrassed. So it's always fun to see that. But kind of like you said at the beginning, Eric, this year's going to be different, man, with this COVID stuff. Hopefully, you know, we got new rules in the league. One of your top picks or whatever lands up on the COVID list, right? It's just going to be crazy. So,
yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Like you said, you know, hopefully it pans out. You know, hopefully we make it the full season. Hopefully, you know, they kind of get it figured out. I'm skeptical, but I'm going to try to be optimist. But, yeah.
All right, my top 3 championship picks are me, and me.
Sean's not getting invited back.
I'll take me, Sean, and Adam as the top 3 championship picks.
What?
Yeah. What are your guys?
In terms of the top 3, I
Best 3
think
teams to have a chance.
David and I have the clear-cut best teams. I like Marcus, and then as a dark horse, I'll take Steven's team just because he very well could have the top running back and top quarterback in the whole thing. So,
All right, Dave, what do you think?
I love Steven's team. I love Marcus's
that was
team.
pretty strong.
Dude, they're so good. Those teams are capable of 120 each week. And then I got a tie for third. I'm going to go with John and myself. Eric and Sean right after that.
There we go.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a huge fan now that everybody's kind of gotten pretty good at drafting. It's way more competitive. There's not huge gaps anymore. The last couple of years, it's been pretty close in terms of, I think last year, I can't remember the exact stat, but last year was the most points I tallied up, most points scored in Cascade Classic history. And it was like the first time I can't remember if everybody scored over 1,000, but
I scored 1,000 and went 6-5 and missed the playoffs. I think that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. So just how much just fantasy points are being scored, it's absurd. The receiving with running backs, 140-point weeks. Sometimes it doesn't win.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It was pretty. I remember a few weeks last year that I scored 130 or something like that and still lost.
I believe that one was against me.
Yeah.
You scored like 130 something, and I scored like a 141 or something like that. And it was just happened the week that we were playing each other.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat my fish tacos now.
But okay, well,
Good.
Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time on That's Your First Mistake. And one little send off here.
Can't wait.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
All right. See you guys.